Hey, everybody. Welcome. It is Leah Ray with Digital Trailblazer. Super excited to have you here with us tonight. This is a fun conversation. I'm going to walk you through if I had to start over, if I had the opportunity to really go back in time and begin from the beginning, start from the beginning with building our business, what would I do? This How do I get to seven figures even faster? What would I do over, right? What bumps in the road would I smooth over, and how would I do that today? Because honestly, everything's a journey, right? We all learn during this experience and from what we've done. And some things went really well, and some things kind of sucked, and some things did okay. But in hindsight, I think could have gone way faster or done way better. And so that's what I'm here to share with you tonight. So as you jump on, say hello. Let me know you are here with me. I am, and I'm curious too, especially in the Facebook group where all my peoples are at. So it's y'all should be there if you are not there. Good. It is coming through. All right. Yes. So in the Facebook group, here we are. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So let me know you're watching and that this is coming through connected to the event, because that would kind of suck if it didn't. All right. Yeah, I want to see all your chats, everything going on. And you're able to see it even though I'm streaming through StreamYard this time versus directly into the group. So I'm kind of testing some stuff out. So definitely let me know. Let me know that you are live and watching and where you're coming from. Okay. So if you don't know anything about our story, which you might not, this might be our first exposure to us. We got started back in 2016 online, and we got started in affiliate marketing, serving network marketers. Basically, it's kind of how the layout went. And so we were learning about marketing. We were learning about all these things and selling someone else's product. Okay. Selling a software, selling a community and training. And it worked really well. Like, we were really good students. We got a coach because we had no idea what we were doing at all. No idea what we were doing. So what we did, hey, Esther, good to see you. So we didn't have any understand, like we bought courses and legit, we couldn't even understand the courses because of the language and the different things that they had. So we had to hire a coach to teach us these things. And these are people coming from, like, we were both like multiple six-figure corporate world, and thinking that we were going to come online and just like crush it. And then we couldn't even understand what the courses were saying that were telling us what to do. That's the reality. So if you feel that way, don't feel bad. Okay. If you are struggling and you don't even understand the basic terminology and you feel totally lost, that's where we were when we first started as well. So you can do this, get some help. Okay. So we hired a coach who could just even explain to us what we were studying, what we were learning, have someone to bounce that off of and clarify, because we were so lost. So honestly, every single coach that we hired along the way, I would 100% hire again. Even if we only took a little bit from them or we took a ton from them, it was every coach that we ever hired was incremental to our growth and what we've been able to accomplish online. So I would still hire all the same coaches, but instead of sticking with that first offer for a very, very long time, and we love them, we love the community, we met some amazing people, all of that was good. But a big change for us is, instead of building exclusively for affiliate marketing for so long, we would have more quickly moved into selling our own products. So I'd say within 18 months after starting our online business, we had, Todd was able to quit his multiple six-figure job. And that was really off of affiliate sales. Okay. So we weren't selling something of our own yet. We were just selling other people's products and services. So we learned how to generate leads. We learned how to close sales. We learned funnels, systems, marketing, all that kind of stuff. We learned that really, really well, which was great. However, as soon as we went from selling someone else's stuff, which we would max out at, like, on a big month, it'd be like 20,000 a month. when we switched to selling our own product, and it happened really naturally for us because people were asking us, how were we generating leads? How were we doing these things? People were asking for that help and asking for that information. So we're like, well, if they're asking for it, we should probably tell them. Like, we should create a course. We should share this information. So we created our very first course. Our very first course was a Twitter course. It actually taught how to market on Twitter and to do it like fully automated, leveraging some tools and some different things, and generate up to like 30 leads a day for free with Twitter automations. You can't do these days. The world has changed, but back then it worked amazing, and you got really good leads, and it worked super, super good. So we created this course and we taught it, and we launched it first to our list and people that were connected to us, and then we started driving cold traffic weekly, and we were selling it on a live webinar. And then from the live webinar, we got some really good results. I think that jumped us up to like 35,000 a month. From there, we went from that to within 3-4 months of that, I think. I'm going off memory, so don't hold me to the exact number. I think it was 3 to 4 months after of actually automating that webinar. The same webinar we were doing live once a week. We were driving paid traffic from Facebook into that live webinar, closing on the webinar once a week. We switched it to an automated webinar, just automated on-demand webinar. And within 4 months, we were at like 180,000 a month. Or within 4 months, we crossed 100,000 a month. Within the next couple months, it was $180,000 a month. No, $190,000. So it went bonkers. So one important lesson that I would pass on to you, I love affiliate marketing. It's a really good opportunity, but if you're in that space, then I wouldn't linger there too long if you aspire or think that you're going to offer your own stuff at some point. Okay. So I would, in our instance, in our journey, if I could go back in time and figure, and like guide myself through this process more simply, I would have jumped into selling our own program 6 months to a year sooner, and would have really started building that revenue much, much quicker. Okay. On top of that, a very important lesson that I want to pass on to you that I wish I could go back in time and tell myself is to price your program according to the value of the result that people get. The value of the result. Because we were surrounded by other people, our friends and colleagues in the space, were selling things for $297. So that's just what we did. We sold things for $297. That's just what we thought our market would handle and what was appropriate. And our mindset was so mixed up about this, where in reality, our customers got amazing results, generating tons and tons of leads. If they were to buy those leads, tons of money. Like, we could have very easily, and we should have, sold that course for $997, not $297. So it would have been a multiple seven-figure year instead of our first seven-figure year altogether. Okay. 100% big lesson for us that we had to learn. It was really, really important. And I wish so much that we could go back in time and increase that price and really position this better, really position this with the value that it really gave people. I would have increased the price. Absolutely. 100%. All right. I do have some treats. I'm going to keep going because there's some other really good things that we got to go through. But if you noticed from the little pop-ups or whatever, if you're listening tonight and you're thinking this sounds really good, but I'm going to need some help with how to do any of this stuff, or I don't think I can do this on my own or whatever, no problem. Let's just chat. We'll see what's going on, see how we can help you out. I've got some freebies I could send your way. If you want to learn more about how we help people directly, I can get you some more information on that. But just type in the word info in the chat. Type info in the chat. We'll talk, see what's going on, see how we can help you out. Okay. Along with that, if we have not chatted yet, okay, and I am dual streaming to TikTok, so all y'all bless you, but I don't have any links for you. But if we have not had an initial conversation with you yet about being a guest on our podcast is live. So our podcast went live this week. It is really good, like really, really good stuff. You're going to love it. Go to Digital Trailblazer Podcast on any of the main platforms. I think Google Play is going to take a minute. It takes a week or two for them to show up there. But everywhere else, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff, Audible and Prime Music, it's there. Go to Digital Trailblazer Podcast. Just search that. It will come up. It's really good. Our first episodes are showing how Jasmine is making made $40,000 in a week, selling like the coolest course ever. Like I was just in love with this woman. She was just so cool. So cool. Okay. So you definitely want to watch that one. And then also our good friend, Mark Harbert, how he has made this last year. He had a 10-day stretch where he made $300,000 off of other people's audiences. And we walk you through how he did that in episode number 2. So head to whatever podcast app you are on, look that up, enjoy those, give us a 5-star rating if you love it, subscribe. But if you want to be interviewed for this podcast, then absolutely type in, what did I say? Chat? No, what did I say? Podcast. Type in podcast in the comments on this live. If you're on YouTube or LinkedIn, there's a link in the description. Just click on it and fill out the application. But if you're on Facebook anywhere, comment, and I will send you the application to apply to be on our podcast. It's so good. You're going to love it. So I highly suggest it. We've got between all of our different platforms and email list, we have like 200,000 people that we're going to be promoting all these to. So you want to not miss out on that opportunity. Okay. So type in guest. We'll get that over to you. Now, on top of selling our own stuff sooner, on top of increasing its price to the value of its result people achieved, those are 2 really, really big, important things that I would change in our journey to get bigger results faster. Another really important thing that I would do is I would really focus on long-term content strategies supplemented by paid traffic. There's kind of a middle ground in between that I think we spent too much time on. Okay. So the middle ground in between, there were periods, especially at the beginning, where we were focused on Instagram. I'm not a fan. Okay. If you're watching and you follow us on Instagram, cool. I put content out on Instagram. I am not building on Instagram. Back in the day I did. You'll see I got some really big numbers or decent numbers like 33,000. It's totally dead though, because I don't interact on it. I don't like it as a platform, and it's not the type of evergreen content that I enjoy doing. Facebook, I spent too much energy and time networking on Facebook. And essentially what I was doing with these different strategies is that I would learn like from a guru, like buy a course, or it was promoted in a community I was in. This new course was launching and you need to do this. And this is the best strategy. And this is the best strategy. And this is the best strategy. And I would jump from one to the other, to the other. No thanks. Okay. I would avoid that altogether. I would focus on 2 long-term evergreen strategies in addition to paid ads. I would leverage paid ads to make money faster, right? To get immediate results while building YouTube channel and podcast. YouTube channel and podcast. They are evergreen. We make sales from our YouTube channel. Like, was it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? We made a sale from our YouTube channel. Never met the guy. He saw a YouTube video we made 3 years ago, I think. We did work once. It generated a lead, led to a high ticket sale. That's the power of evergreen content. My Instagram post ain't going to do that. It's just not. It's continuous hustle and grind on Instagram versus YouTube. I love you, but I don't have time to make really good pre-recorded videos these days. So I just go live now. And someday I will have more time and I will produce more pre-recorded stuff and deliver it because it's so valuable. And I would have focused on YouTube sooner and more extensively and consistently across all of the time that we have been building our business. Do I do much on TikTok? No. I do have a lot of content there. I have in the past. I'm just really busy and don't have time right now. However, I do plan to get back to it at some point. So we're short staffed at the moment, and we have to hire and do some things in our business. Until we do, I don't see myself getting back on TikTok. A video here or there maybe, but it's not something that I can devote time to at the moment because it's not fast income producing. Like I'm not going to do a reel or a TikTok and it makes me money right away. That's just, I can't plan on going viral. It's not a business model, right? So it's just not somewhere that I can spend a lot of time at the moment. Okay. But I will come back and realistically, Facebook Reels make me more money. So focusing more on the Facebook Reels, but also pushing them to TikTok, probably, right? Would make sense. But I would focus on YouTube. The other thing that just launched this week that I would absolutely have done sooner. I've talked to Todd. Todd and I have wanted to do a podcast for years. I've even talked to like my gal pals and like thought of doing some together and for years. And it just never got to the top of the priority list because it is, if you are a solo or really small business, you get it. There's always way more to potentially do than you can actually handle. So we had to prioritize and podcasting never got to the top of the list. So we are now, 7 years in and just launching our podcast. And it has been phenomenal for our business. And we absolutely love it. And I wish so hard that we had done it sooner. Like I've met the coolest people, starting some connections that are leading very cool places. I would highly suggest, like if I had to do two things, I would do two evergreen. I would do YouTube and podcasting. I would stop all of the busyness stuff that I spent so much time doing, get my immediate sales from Facebook ads, build up those other two. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? So those are the biggest three things that I would change. That if I could go back in time, I would absolutely adjust things. I would start selling our own products sooner. I would increase the price to reflect the value of what it actually does for the clients. And I would focus on more evergreen content consistently from the beginning. Absolutely YouTube and podcast. And less of the busyness stuff. Okay. Do you have to build your brand first like you and Todd? You, Todd, have a huge brand now. No. If you're talking about starting a podcast, absolutely not. Your podcast can help you build your brand. Now, I do suggest learning how to promote it though. Like while our podcast is just getting started, like it just went live today. I'm going to be ranking on that that podcast. It's not just, I love podcasts and I love it as a business strategy, but I don't want you to not try to get it to grow. If you are going to take time to do this, you need to put effort into building that podcast, learning how to create really, really good content and how to rank that, how to get people to it, to drive traffic, run some ads, do some different things to make it worth it. Podcasting for the sake of podcasting, not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about looking at this from a business perspective, understanding that it is a traffic strategy for you to get in front of the right people, to build your business, to generate leads, to do all of these things. So podcasting and YouTube, that's what I would focus on. If I could go back in time and start this journey over and get to 7 figures much, much sooner and multiple 7 figures, then I would absolutely do that. I would avoid all the busyness stuff that you just get sucked into, right? And do that instead. Okay. So super important. Yes. If y'all want help, all y'all in TikTok, Twitter, TikTok just blew itself up. It went from like nobody to like a whole bunch of people. So hello, TikTok world. We're really talking about how, if I had to go back in time to start over to the beginning of our business, what lessons I would have learned and would have avoided and told myself sooner. So to get to 7 figures much faster in our online business, and then also how to really get past that way faster. Okay. So our journey is really all about, we started in affiliate marketing. It did amazing for us. Absolutely loved it. Phenomenal. Great. It taught us how to market, which is the most important tool to building an online business is marketing. You got to figure that out, right? So we absolutely did that. And we learned lead generation. We learned content creation. We learned funnels and copy and all of those really, really important things. And we promoted someone else's stuff. So we didn't sell our own offers. We sold someone else's offers. Okay. So that's how we got started. And that's what got us to 6 figures. That's went from 0 to 6 figures selling other people's products and services. From there though, our biggest month ever, I think, was 20,000. And so moving past that, it was hard, right? It wasn't easy. And we stayed in that lane too long. We had people actually asking for us, how do we generate these leads? How do we close these sales? How do we do all these things? So we finally created our own course and then we started selling that. So that is what took us very quickly to just within 6 months, we were at 6 figures a month because we started selling our own products instead of selling somebody else's. So I would have done that much sooner in our journey instead of waiting so long. So that would have taken months, if not maybe closer to a year off of this journey, off of this process. And then I would have increased the price. We sold that bad boy for $297 and that course was amazing. Our clients got tons of results. They were generating all kinds of leads and sales and doing amazing. And so the second lesson beyond selling your own stuff sooner is to really price this according to the value of its results. Price it according to the value of the results that people are going to get when they complete your program. So instead of selling it at $297, I would have really sold it at $997 instead because it was a phenomenal program. And that would have taken us from hitting our very first 7-figure year to multiplying that to multiple 7 figures in that first 7-figure year. So making that shift would have been important. And then thirdly, that focusing on more evergreen content, podcasting, YouTube. If you had to Digital Trailblazer podcast on any podcasting app, we just went live today. And that's 7 years later than we should have. Really, really good content. Jasmine's creating a phenomenal business with the coolest course like ever that I've ever run into. And she just got her first $40,000 week. So you definitely want to learn how she's doing that. Head to Digital Trailblazer podcast at any of the podcasting apps. And Mark, our good friend Mark Harbert, how he had in a 10-day stretch, he made $300,000 in revenue off of other people's audiences. So absolutely head to the podcast, check that out. But those are the most important. If you want to be a member, if you want to be a guest and get promoted, Todd and I are going to run some ads to the podcast. In addition to, we're chopping up content. We're going to be pushing it out extensively to all of our different platforms. Then type in podcast into our Facebook group. We will get you the application for that. If you're on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, bless you, I don't have a link for you, but if you go to our website, you'll find our email me, I'll get you the link, or join us on any of our social platforms, Facebook somewhere, and we'll get that to you. But apply to be a guest. We'll see if you're a good fit for what we're looking for. And then, and plus we'll have a fun conversation on top of it. And if you're looking at this stuff and you're like, this sounds great, and I want to build this business, and I want to start, launch my course, or I want to launch my coaching business, or any of that stuff, but I need help? Like, I don't know the step by steps. I get it. I get the conceptual part, right? I get the concept of, well, yeah, get in front of people and maybe get on a webinar and do whatever, but you don't have the step by step of exactly what to do. You can be lost in limbo in the knowledge without the step by step, without the implementation piece for a very long time, and waste a ton of time and a ton of opportunity in that space. So don't let that be you. Comment info in the chat. Let's just talk, see what's going on, see if we can help you out, because you got to take action to get things moving. All right. And that's our jam, helping people have a plan to move this forward. So absolutely. I'll see y'all next Monday. Let me know, comment. Okay. Comment in the chat or in the comments that you went to our podcast, Digital Trailblazer Podcast. Let us know in the comments that you checked it out and that you gave us a 5-star review. Let us know that you saw it and that what you thought of these first few episodes. I'm super excited and I'm so grateful for our awesome guests and the really, really cool people that we've been able to connect with there. Okay. So yes, type in guest and we'll get you the application to be on the podcast, and type in info if you want to chat, see how we can help you out. If you ask for anything, make sure you send me a friend request or send me a hi or something in Messenger so you can actually receive my messages and it's not stuck in message requests, because that's always incredibly irritating. And I don't want that to happen because then you can't get what you asked for. So absolutely. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have a blessed Monday. Same time next week. I will be back 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 Pacific time. More lessons, more just help and insights to help you build your business. Have a blessed night. Bye. And happy Thanksgiving. Yes, I almost forgot that. Sorry. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.